Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to give you some video thoughts on the new movie Christy. Of course, a biopic based on Christy Martin, of course, starring Sydney Sweeney. And I will probably do a written letterboxd review at some point as well. But for a movie that's out right now, I thought it'd be fitting to do a video as well. And I've been looking forward to this one for a while. I was worried my theater was not going to play it, but luckily it did. Um, and I don't want to make the entire video about this, but to address Sydney Sweeney real quick, it's just funny the stigma around her right now. You had extreme Christians coming after her for Immaculate a few years ago. You had people calling her woke for some things in Euphoria and a couple other smaller movies she did. Um, and now you have her doing a movie playing a closeted gay woman overcoming abuse, like serious domestic abuse, and instead you have people calling her a supremacist for a jeans ad. Something just doesn't mesh there. It doesn't quite make a whole lot of sense to me. Um, but that's all I'll touch on with that kind of thing. Uh, and I guess I really, really liked in Douglas movie. I think it's probably the best performance of Sydney Sweeney's career so far. You see her, it kind of chronicles her life, in different, segments throughout. And you get to see her kind of coming out of her home life, being, discovered by, promoters and such, getting into some, bigger fights, to general audiences and everything. And you see how it all ends up kind of tail spinning with Ben Foster as the person who kind of discovers her. Um, and due to pressure from her family and other, marketing and stuff like that, she's not really allowed to be who she is, who she really is. So she deals with a lot of scrutiny from that. Not being able to be with the person she actually cares about, Rosie, from, when she was younger. Um, it is, there are fights in the movie and they are pretty well done, honestly. But it's definitely more of a character piece. It's more about what goes into it in and around the fights, outside of it and everything. And Sydney Sweeney just did such a fantastic job, I really have to say. Very emotive, very believable. She has like a different kind of drawl with her voice. She definitely got into it physically. You can see the videos of her working out and sparring and training and everything like that. The shape she was in, holy biceps, Batman. um, but yeah, Ben Foster too. That guy has range. He can do a role he had in like the 2004 Punisher movie. 310 to Yuma. Mechanic and things like that. He can be like a sympathetic character, but then he can do a movie like this where he's an utter, garbage piece of shit. So he does really well here too. It's definitely kind of hinged a lot on them. Um, you also have Katie M. O'Brien as another fighter she comes across. I don't have a name right now in my head for some reason, but we seen her just a year ago in Love Lies Bleeding with Kristen Stewart, which is another very good movie. She plays a key part here. Also in Z Nation, I know her from a few years back too. But yeah, just a really, really good movie. It's a little over 2 hours. It was paced pretty well for me. I was pretty engrossed. I didn't really find myself like checking the time or anything like that. Um, but yeah, I think it was about as good as you can make one of these movies, and I do think it's probably one of the best movies I've seen this year. Performance standpoint, very just dialed in. And I just think it's a shame because a lot of these proceeds are going to domestic abuse awareness, which the real Christy Martin actually has always done a lot to help. So I think it's just puzzling and kind of shitty that people are focusing on like the dumb jeans ad controversy when Sweeney's done all she has and had all these other sides after her. But we just want to focus on that when she's trying to do good by putting this story out there. Uh, yeah, it's unfortunate. Even the Rocks, though, the Rock Smashing Machine didn't do well this year either. So I just think they're the kind of movies that just aren't really selling. Um, but if you're just deliberately not seeing it or like putting down this movie because of the jeans ad thing, I think you need to look at yourself a little bit. But yeah, let me guess thought about this one seriously, like honest, honesty. I thought it was very good myself. Sweeney was great in it. Let me know what you thought. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, of course, and Instagram. Peace.